Hello, my friends. Bought this Morgan dollar this past week. And where it's going is for this tube. Now, what I'm putting here is stuff like this one. This is very worn out. Hello, tube. So I've got, well, I didn't mean to throw them out, but I've got Morgan dollars in this and piece dollars. Some of them with holes, some of them not, some of them just worn. It's got a whole tube almost, and that's where this one is going. Still got a couple more to fill this all the way in it. There's $19 in this. 90% silver coins, piece dollar, and Morgans. But now, let's talk about something else real quick. If you watched my video last night, and the one I put live earlier talking about the Mexican coin, turns out it's a replica coin of the $50 gold piece. Now, so I took it back to the coin dealer. I told him it's not 37.5 grams, and it's a replica of the $50 gold coin. So he's like, okay. So he pulled out his Sigma and tested it. It's not silver. Now, this particular coin I got, because right after he refunded my money, I noticed this one. That's a little ship there. And I say shipped, or ship I mean, because there's 3 masts on it. This is a Liberian coin. It's for the Constitution, Bill of Rights, 1971. Now, I bought some of these before and knew that they were 3/9 fine silver. Okay, I believe that your name is pronounced Saeed, and you ask if that diamond is real. That is a glass paperweight. Now, he just gave me the refund for the one coin. It was $45 is what I paid for it. But I saw this one, and it was packaged in this. It said Liberia, $20, 2000, $1 is what he had on it. And I told him, after he gave me that refund, I said, you're probably going to want to change this. And I told him what it was. This is 3/9 fine silver. It's 20 grams. It's a little thinner than a 1 ounce one. It's ASW off the website, 0.6424. So it's just under 2/3 of an ounce of silver. And here's how I knew what it was, because I got these a while back from a different guy. These two, they are 1/2 ounce Cook Island 3/9 fine tribute coin, or tributes to 100 years of the piece dollar and the Morgan. And then this is 1964 on it. I don't know exactly why they put 64 on it, but they did. They are replicas of them, and but they test 3/9 fines, so they're 1/2 ounce of silver. So I had this one, $20, says 2007. This is Ratification of the U.S. Constitution, $20. 3/9 fine silver. Same design. 2007 date. Now, this one is for Theodore Roosevelt, and it's got some milk spots and stuff on it. Same design coin. A little more than a half ounce of silver, however you want to put it. But I knew was 3/9 fine, so he threw it up on his Sigma, and it tests 3/9 fine, just like I told him. So after all that, he said it should be about $24. Now, because I told him what it was, he said, you can have it for $12 since you saved me the trouble of not knowing what that was and proving it to me that I had something a little more than I thought I did. So I ended up paying $12 for this, and it's really about $24 worth of silver at current prices. But, hey, that's half a melt. So I knew that was a good coin, Bullion type piece. And he didn't really realize what he had. That's easy to make mistakes. You can't know everything. Now, yeah, this is not real diamond. It's a piece of glass. I ordered it from Amazon. So it's not, and this is no ruby. It's a plastic gemstone shaped thing I got from Dollar Tree. On these other ones, this red one here and the black one over here, you can see part of a really large, real large glass. This is like ruby red. The other one's black. They're both the same size. Now, so we're going to talk about this real quick. This is Spain, and I think that's Seta. I really don't know for sure. 950. It's about a quarter ounce of silver. It's a little bit more actually. So what you do when you get these, or at least I've been starting to try to do this all the time, is you take a pair of pliers and flatten your staples. Because even though this is worn some, I don't want it to be in a box and have those out where they can scratch the plastic right off of another coin. This is the pillar design that in MS, and then M, I believe this is Mexico City made piece. I think. I could be wrong, but it is neat. And for $9.50, it's probably pretty close to the melt value. It might be slightly over. Now, this one says with arrows, 1 year design. I just got one of these the other day from a different guy. And this is why I like these so much. You got the rays coming out from behind the eagle like that, which this 1 year design. And they make quite a few of them, but out of all the seeded Liberty coins, this particular design I like the most because of the rays from the eagle. And now, granted, it is worn, but you can read the date quite easily. So this needs with arrows and rays added to make it accurate. But let's talk a little bit about what you see on the table here. These are made by the Hamilton Mint, I believe. This is Old Faithful. Now, Wonders of America. It's the Hamilton Mint, like I said. It's 3/9 fine, 1 troy ounce piece. On this It's hard to read, but it's talking about Old Faithful and stuff. By the way, they didn't make these in very big numbers. This one's New Orleans, America the Beautiful one. It's talking about the French Quarter, and it's a jazz band. It too, same kind of deal, low mintage. Now the ones with gold plating like this one, electric EGP, electric gold plated, 24 karat gold, 1975. They made 5,000 of them with the gold and 10,000 of the ones that aren't. Well, your nation. And there's some stuff I wouldn't mind taking out and rattling a bit if that's what you want. That's what you want to hear. They're silver dimes. I think one of them's gold plated. They're really so. Hogs Baffleworth, what country are you from? Because that's sounds like a made up name. I don't know. But what country are you from? I might actually have one. That one's gold plated. These are just mercury dimes in various forms of wear and tear. And to really make it rattle, you probably put them in a glass jar or something. Well, how many are there in this? Looks like there's 11 of them. Now, hear that? Yeah. Now, sometimes you get a chance to buy some other stuff that's kind of neat. Where's that bag? I put the bag over there. It is. Oh yeah, I got Australian coins. The hint's in the name. 2021. All right. A while back, my coin dealer had this toned up piece dollar. He doesn't like toning, and this might be artificially done. I don't really know. But he not only did he have that one, he had this one, which is very similar toning, 21, but he also had this in a bag of silver rounds. This is American Silver Eagle, 2001. It's 1 ounce of fine silver, $1. But I think all these are artificially toned, but it's kind of neat looking and I like it. So I went ahead and got all of them. Now notice the price. $25, $26 on the dollar coins. $26 for the 21 and $25 for the 22 piece dollar. Right now the melt on these is just a little under $30. Well, we want to talk about some real old coins. That goes back pretty far, 1853. But we can do better. And show you this one, 1831 half dollar. Now it has letter edging on it, which in this it's going to be hard to see, but it says half a dollar 50 cents. So that's a nice one. Even older though, because I have this 1825 one, which also has letter edging. These are not very cheap to get when they're in this kind of shape. This one's really not worn that bad, considering it's 1831. This one's exactly 200 years old now, but it is worn more, so it was a little cheaper. Now, those are cool. But when you get real lucky, you go to another coin dealer who's been selling me beat up, torn up stuff for years. Stuff with holes in it, whatever. Sometimes you get a chance. That's nice. Sometimes you get a chance to buy one of these pretty cheap. Barber half. Now, this is Orleans. 1906 Orleans. The O is almost gone. If I can get the light to hit it right, you can see part of the mint mark. It's on the verge of going away, and then you won't know. But the date part is pretty solid, so it might not go away for a while. But these two, this one's scratched, and it looks like it says 1835. 190-year-old coin, been circulated quite a bit. It's 89.2% silver, and it is. I was able to get it for melt value, which is mind-boggling. Usually, you can't buy these things that cheap. This one, I think it might be 1832. It is real hard to tell. Very worn. But stacking gold's a lot harder than stacking silver. For the main reason why, because gold is so much more to buy. And these older coins have a larger diameter than the newer ones, the barber halves and stuff. You can see that. It's just a bigger coin, and they weighed more when they were first made. They were like 13 points, half of what a U.S. Morgan is. Although they didn't even have Morgans then. Very hard to stack gold. Because when you buy gold, as a stacker, you can buy a lot of stuff like these dimes, about $2.50 a piece or so roughly. But if you want to get gold, you buy U.S. gold coins like this one, Sigma tested. Doesn't look too bad on this side. It's kind of scratched up on this side. It's $1, although part of the L looks rubbed away, and the other one is gone. It's 1851. These are 90% gold, which is a nice coin. Now, I covered the price because I didn't want to display how much it cost me to buy. I wanted people to guess the video I made, and a few people threw out some guesses. But if it didn't have the little problems with the rubbed off L there, and the date was clearer, this particular coin would probably be worth a bit more than what I ended up paying for it. Just because it'd be a nicer coin then. But that's well over $100, you know. It's possible in this stack of foreign coins, I might have the Australian piece or two. That's British. It's Austria during the Austro-Hungarian Empire. That's a British shilling. There's the Spanish reals, older one, 1789, kind of cool. Oh, here we go. Now, I bought this 1175. This is a sterling piece. Now someone has done a number on it. It's 1942, and someone has tried to drill a bunch of holes in this. A couple of them through it. I don't know why. And it's kind of welted looking on this side where they pushed into it. Now I have some of these that aren't drilled on, but I might not be able to find them that quick. These half crowns from Australia from this time. See, someone wrote 1912. But when you look at the coin, because you can write anything on this you want, you can tell that's 1942, and besides 1912, well, this guy wasn't the king. Let's see if I have another one in here that is Australian or not. I have more British coins and some Mexican coins, and oh yeah, here's a pretty nice Mexican coin. 1 real, 1831. $5. I'm like, this probably should have been more than $5, but that's all they wanted. So you usually don't pay up if over value. If they say that's the price you want it, you can have it. But every now and then you have to tell someone that they have something. Well, I don't see another Australian one. I know I have more. I've got a few of these half crowns, a couple, 3 of them at least. But this one's got a hole in it, which is too bad. But you know what? It gives me a coin I can give a nickname to. Oh yeah, I do have bullion pogs, but let me show you a couple pieces. I do like buying, if it's bullion, oftentimes I like to get stuff that is like this American Silver Eagle being government issue, not private mint. Nice ship on this. I got a couple of them. This is constitutional mint. And it has a quote from the Constitution on the back of it. I love ships of coins. And I ordered this one a few years ago. And we won't mention the country this ship is in possession of. But this is Rwandan. But they didn't I don't think they minted it, but they had it made. They make a lot of these nautical ounces, which when I bought it, I ordered it and they took the premium half. That's one reason why I got it. Plus I like ships on coins anyway, so. And I have more than a few of these A marks. They are Liberty Bell. And on this side, this is 1984. So some of them are dated, some aren't. And then this is issued by Canada, but it's talking about a American and Canadian unit, and I believe it's World War II. That was like the precursor of the special forces and stuff. So this is just a half-ounce piece of silver, 3/9 fine. Well, 4/9, I mean. I believe it's 4/9. Yeah, it says 4/9 right on the top there. Half an ounce. It's got it at a price I thought probably should have been a little more, because half-ounce pieces usually have more of a premium. Not gonna bother with that. Let's see. Bought this a while back. Statue of Liberty, San Francisco Mint proof. The one that's not the proof is a little rarer. Then you can find something like this thing. This is 3/9 fine silver, issued the sovereign nation of the Shawnee tribe, 2002. It's not a very high mintage type thing, but it's a real cool piece. And it is 3/9 fine silver, which makes it bullion. Let's see. Other bullion piece. Usually, if you're buying these Libertads, like this one, it's a 1 ounce of silver, 3/9 fine, you're going to pay a bit of a premium. Because these Libertads usually, especially these older ones like this, they tend to be marked up some. This particular thing, though, I got it for about the same price as a Buffalo. Now, I've been buying coins since I was a kid. Yeah, I don't doubt that. $80 or more. This, it's a 1921 piece dollar in pretty good shape. This I refer to as the Crossing the Rubicon coin. This is the first coin I dropped more than $100 on, because these piece dollars, the 1921 anyway, are even at lower grades are typically much higher than any other piece dollar. Now, once you get up to mint state, there's a few of them that are worth more in mint state than what this one would be if it was mint state. They're high relief, they're real cool, but usually piece dollars are not anything crazy. Now, sometimes a chance to buy an oddball. This one is what I refer to as an oddball because it's from St. Helena's, and it's 1 1/4 ounce, 1.25 ounces of 3/9 fine silver. This is the only one I have that has Chuck on it, or King Charles. But that design's pretty cool looking. Now, at the time of buying this, it was near melt, so if you can get them for near melt, you can't hardly complain. Now, I had a piece I wanted to show. I mean, then you got your classic Buffaloes. You know, error coins are really hard to judge. They're basically worth what someone will pay for them. Alright. I had something here I wanted to show, but I don't know where I stuck it. Or it just slipped and got buried slightly underneath some other things. Which is real easy to do when you're digging through something to look at and show some stuff for the... Well, I don't know where it is. It's in here somewhere. Maybe I put it on the table and didn't realize it. I don't see it. This is a vintage silver round, 74. These go for a little bit more than a typical Buffalo would, but the guy I bought it from treats all of this like they're generic. He doesn't look them all up because he buys a huge amount when he buys them and then just sells them. This, though, it's a Monarch odd shaped 3/9 fine silver Egyptian themed piece, which this guy right here sent to me. Now I sent him some stuff too, so it was a mutual kind of thing. But I really am beginning to wonder where that one thing went. It was right here a moment ago. That ain't it. 720 Mexican piece. Now, I forgot I had this because I bought a different one and done a video about saying this is the one I was looking for a while. 5 peso. Tells you it's 27.7 grams of 720. So I have two of them, and I forgot I had this one, which is kind of easy to do sometimes. You don't look at them often. It's very easy to forget some of the stuff you do have. All right, let's go ahead. Oh, there it is right there. Go ahead and put this other stuff back for now. Because once in a blue moon, you get a chance to buy one of these other silver dollars. All I can tell you, Lion Rose, about quarters and other error coins, sometimes it's hard to determine if it truly is the error coin you're talking about. The ones that are easiest are the ones that are struck way off center, because it's undeniable. No one can say if it's, say this was struck off center and the design was only like a crest of the moon, that this part was unstruck. That would definitely be an error coin that you can't deny, because sometimes you get one that is an error coin and you look at it, you think it's the error coin, but other people who really study that stuff tell you it's not. Well, this is from 1896. It's Guatemala, 90%, like a trade dollar basically. It's 25 grams starting weight, peso. It's a real neat piece. I got it for about melt value, which is, if you're buying that kind of stuff, it's kind of what you want. Now, I did have in my stack of coins and stuff a box off in the vault, so I can't show you, but it is a US dime that was struck way off center. You can't tell if it is or was silver or not by the date, because the date ain't on it. I don't think it's silver, but it's still an error, undeniable type error. But I do want to thank people who have stopped by. I'm not thinking I'm going to go live a lot longer, but these vintage bars are really cool. They're a little bit different shape than your typical 1 ounce silver bar. They're more like an ingot. And I can kind of show you what I mean. This is a regular 1 ounce, a Morgan dollar design on it. HM, which I think might be the Hamilton Mint, 1 ounce silver. The shape of these, they're a little bit different. I do believe this is slightly thicker than these are, and that's where you get the full ounce, because this one is a little wider. But anyway, I think that bell's telling me it's about time. I should probably go ahead and end this for the night and wish everyone a good night. Thanks to the people who did stop by. And I'm pretty sure we'll have another video next weekend for live. I'll have some other videos I'm going to have going live that aren't live streams. But yeah, I got this in 225 of 90% quarters for about $10 under melt, which is kind of crazy in some ways. The reason why I was able to get the quarters in that dollar coin for cheaper than melt. Hello, Elsa. The reason why I was able to get this is because it's a common date, 21. They made a lot of them. The mint mark would have been right about where this hole has been bashed into the coin. It might have slight plugging on it. No matter. And these Standing Liberty quarters. But the thing about the Standing Liberty quarter, all these are dateless. So there's no collectability to them really. It's just a straight stack of silver. And since they're worn out, I don't care if they get banged around some more. It won't hurt them. Because all it really is 51 something grams of 90% silver coin. That's basically what this is now, since someone damaged it. But even undamaged 21 Morgan dollar is very common. They made millions of each one of them. San Francisco, Denver, and Philadelphia. And with the Denver one being the only Morgan dollar that's made in Denver of the older ones, because you can't, 1904 is the last year they made these before they made them again in 21. And Denver wasn't open then. It didn't open till 1906, I think. But don't quote me on that exactly. They were getting ready to open it, probably, and started building it. But it wasn't open. At least not yet. So the one coin, it went back to the dealer. He tested it. It wasn't silver like the card claimed. And this, he didn't realize this was 3/9 fine. It's a 20-gram piece and carries a $20 face value on it. Republic of Liberia. They are neat, even though they're thin and stuff, but what can you do? But this kind of stuff, when it's damaged, worn out quite a bit, some of these Mercuries might even be dateless. I mean, the gold-plated one doesn't add any value to it, but it is definitely gold-plated. Which looks neat, but it's so little of gold on that it's not worth anything extra. But that's good for the night. I hope everyone has a good night. And I'd love to be able to get some more of these art bars, but I don't see them around here very often. But you can find them on eBay, and you can look them up, and you'll see most of those people are asking quite a bit for these, over, premium over the value of the piece, because it's basically 1 ounce of silver. But because they didn't make very many of them, and these are kind of vintage now, people are willing to pay more for them. I mean, it's not too crazy. I would pay more, maybe $5 over the melt value for one, which would put it about $43. Oh, well, that might be true. Elsa said that gold plating adds value on eBay. I know, I've sold them. Okay, that's cool. So you run across one of these, gold bars like this. It's silver plated with gold. And it's a pretty low mintage piece. You might be able to get more for it than what it otherwise would be. But anyway, I had a little fun. Got to talk to quite a few people online tonight. And I hope that when you're out searching for your coins and stuff, you can find the coin of your dreams and be able to buy it, or buy one that you didn't even know existed. Which, that's awesome. This one, I did not know they made a 5 centimes, or centavos, 1895 Mexican coin like this. 5 centavos in 9027 silver, or 903. I didn't know they made this. When I saw it, I thought they went down to like 10 centavos on these, and that was about as low as they went with silver. But they went all the way down to 5 on that. So it's a 5 centavos silver piece. You do have to look up some of this stuff, because when you're buying the foreign silver, because if you don't know, this, it's 1944, it's 50% silver. This, where'd it go? I just had it a moment ago. There it is. This is 1942 Australian. At that time, Australia was still making this stuff in sterling silver, which is 0.925. So this coin has a lot more silver weight to it when it started than what this, the parent country basically of the empire, was doing 50% silver. Its ASW is 0.1818. This one's ASW is 0.3364, which is quite a bit more silver than what the British were using. I think 1920 was the last year they made sterling for Great Britain. I think might have been 1919. Same thing in Canada, somewhere around the same area. They went from sterling to 80%, but they kept doing 80% until the 60s. Meanwhile, Britain would get out of silver coinage, and I think it's 46 was the last year they made 50% silver coins like this. Now they do make bullion and stuff, different thing. This was circulating money that people would spend. It was not anything else. This stuff only became collectible when coin collecting became big, and all the silver coins, they stopped making them. But yeah, these are old Mexican coins, the 903 ones, they rock. I love this stuff. And it says it's 0.393 ounces of silver in this coin. And 903 silver, or 9027 is what it really is. Those pieces are a little harder to come by and usually cost a little more depending on who you buy them from. Sometimes you get lucky though, and you'll find someone who will sell the stuff at or near melt. When you can do that, it's a real good way to buy it, because a lot of times to get the more value out of this kind of stuff, you'll have to sell it yourself on eBay and then mail it, and by the time you pay, or you make them pay, but you still got to take it from your house to the mailbox or the post office and mail it and stuff. Even if you make them pay shipping and handling, it's extra work. It's not much extra work, if you just take a large collection of stuff to a coin dealer who gives you a fair enough price. You might make less money that way, but if you want to sell hundreds of dollars of coins, it might take a while to sell them. Like 19 US Morgan and peace dollars. The recent melt value on this stuff is pretty close to $30 a coin. If you have 20 of them, you're talking a tube of $600 of coins. And not very many collectors walk around with $600 to drop and pick up a bunch of coins at the same time. That's always something to keep in mind. Yeah, you can get a better price to sell it yourself, but you're going to do more work selling it than what you will if you just say, you know what, I'm not going to fight for every extra penny I can get out of this. I want the money faster. And henceforth, when a grandfather in the family dies and he has a lot of silver like this, oftentimes the family don't care about collecting in coins like this, and they'll take the whole thing to a coin dealer and sell it off. Depending on who you do that with, though, you might not get as fair a price as you can. So if you do get a big amount and you want money quick, take a few, look up a couple of them. They're just common date ones. Take them to a guy who said they'll buy silver and see what he offers you for a couple of them. That way, if he says like US quarter that's silver, I'll give you like one of these. He says, I'll give you $250 each for them. Now, that's a insulted price today, because this stuff's worth almost $7 melt value each. So, but if you take it to a coin dealer and he goes, since these are dateless, I'll give you $450 for them. That's a lot better than $250. And if you've got a ton of these, who's going to want to buy a ton of dateless coins except a stacker? If you don't know any stackers, you ain't going to be able to sell them to a stacker. But that's just how it works. I mean, I'll tell you one thing that is kind of overpriced usually. These little 1 gram silver bars. $2.49. I didn't pay that much, but that's what they had on it. I think at the time I bought it, I actually got it for half that price, but it's not a very good way to stack silver because it's expensive. And usually, I'll show a couple fractional silver bars I've been able to buy at near melt. This is a JM Johnston Matherly. It's 5 grams. It's pretty small. Usually on something like this, when they sell them online, you will pay a big premium. The guy I bought it from sold it to me for right about its melt value. This one is a 10 gram one, which at the time I bought it, he asked 13, but I think he ended up accepting a little bit less than that, because I think I bought it with a few coins like this, and then he rounded it off and gave me a couple dollars discount off for what he was asking, which that's nice too. A lot of that will all depend on who you buy from. And one thing that you can sometimes get right at melt usually is stuff like the Mexican 68 Olympic coin. This 100, or that's what seen is, 100 pesos basically, 720 silver piece, which was right around $20 when I bought it, which it's 6.643 ASW. At the time I bought this, it was a little bit more than what you can order them for online by about $1, but then you had to buy a lot of them to get shipping. So I thought, well, this guy's got it. It's silver. It's only $1 higher than what the online price is. That's not that bad. So I went ahead and bought it. I'll tell you one thing you usually can never get cheap is these quarter or fractional Libertads like this. It's 3/9 fine silver. It's an awesome piece. In 2019, very low mintage on that, like 4,500, I believe. And let's see, there's likely 3 of these. That's Santa Maria, and that's the Nina. And I think these are a 1/4 ounce 3/9 fine silver. They have Christopher Columbus on them. I'm pretty sure there's at least one more of the design out there if you can ever find it. They're kind of neat too. But stuff like these little 1-gram ones, usually when you buy them, you're going to pay a big premium. I got lucky when I bought this. The guy I bought it from let me have them cheap. Sometimes. Let's just talk about rarity and how rarity will make, before I leave for the night. All these are very common, worn out mercury dimes. There's 11 of them. And at 2 something a piece, 250, 274. I don't remember what I paid for them at the time, but that's about what their melt value is, 275 or something like that. So 11 of them, you're talking almost $30 probably for a bag of 11 of them. Now, 21D, lower mintage, $35 because it's low mintage and hard to find. It's not the lowest, but it is lower than most of all the other mercury dimes they made. So something like that, you'll pay more to get one. Maybe more than you think you should. I don't know. But the 1916D is the really low one. My coin dealer has one that's been graded. It's a PCGS holder, I believe, and it's almost good 3 grade. It's an $800+ coin though, because it's so rare. Around 300,000 were made. That's what makes it such a crazy piece. I'll show you something more. This says carving on back. It's a seated Liberty $50. This, someone carved this into it. This is something about Sunday school superintendent. That's probably their name. And it was to Miss, looks like Effie Reese. It's a pretty neat piece. And I got it for about melt value, so I can't complain. That's pretty much covering every topic I wanted to cover tonight. So if you are out trying to stack silver, junky, messed up stuff is probably the cheapest you'll get. And if you buy from somebody often, they'll likely, sometimes they might extend you deals that make it even cheaper. There's no collector value for this now that it's worn and torn up. But by golly, it has silver value, and silver doubles. That's where you'll make the money on this kind of stuff. Because if you bought a bunch of it when silver was in the $18 range or something, and now it's like 37 something, I think. It's up a lot. And even if the guy you sell it to says, I can't quite give you melt value for it, you'll make back more than you paid for it if you bought it when it was $14, $15 an ounce. That's pretty well it for, and I hope everyone has a good night, because it's pretty much all I got. We'll see you next time.